And sorry if I'm flipping around here. We're trying to do the carrying on from our last meeting, the projects. Was this one here, the arithmetic formatter? Do you recall that one, Chris? In HashMapper?
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit, right?
I was there, so.
You weren't there, okay. So for this project, we're taking a boiler plate that they provide. So you'll be working on this project with our starter code. So they give us the basics. Basically, it's calling a method, and then it gives us some inputs, and then it's supposed to do all this stuff. So our code is supposed to go in here. And I've been just messing around with some of the logic. So just to go through the problem here, it says, we are still developing our interactive instruction. Okay. So here we can reference some Python educationals. So students in primary school are often arranged arithmetic problems vertically to make it easier to solve. For example, 235 plus 52 becomes, so that's the format that it should print. So create a function that receives a list of strings that are arithmetic problems and returns the problems arranged vertical and side by side. The function should optionally take a second argument. When the second argument is set to true, the answer should be displayed. So if we call our function and we give it a list with two sets of, with a bunch of numbers here. So is that a list or is that an object? I'm not sure. I think it's a list. So I didn't realize that we provide the operator too. So if we provide that as the input, that should be the output. And if we provide the same thing, more or less, but then we give it a true, it'll actually provide the answer. But these are the rules to make this function work. So the function will return the correct conversion if supplied the problems are formatted correctly. Otherwise, it will return a string that describes an error that is meaningful to the user. So for this problem, it's going to be a lot of error handling. If there are too many problems supplied to the function, the limit is 5. Anything more will return too many problems. So I got to write this down here. They do provide a kind of a template of all the errors. Like when we run the test, you'll see what I mean in a second. So the first error is too many problems. 5. So error, too many problems. Maybe I should just use a notepad. What do you think? That'll be easier. Let me do that. So too many problems. Come on. That's not let me select. Oh, there we go. So that's for one of the errors. Another error, the appropriate operators for the function will accept addition and subtraction. Multiplication, division will return an error. Other operators not mentioned in this bullet point will not be tested. The error will be turned. Error operator must be that. So that's the second error. Each number operand should only contain digits. Otherwise, the function will return error. Numbers must contain digits. Each operand, aka number, on each side of the operator has a max of 4 digits in width. Otherwise, the error will return. Numbers cannot be more than 4 digits. I got too many windows here. Secret stuff here. Okay. That's fine. Okay. If the user supplied correct format of the problems, conversion you return will follow these rules. There should be a single space, geez Louise, between the operator and the longest of the two. What does that mean?
So that means, so say if like the number, your first number is like 4 digits, you'd need to start the plus sign at you know, at the first, and then you'd go over 2 and then start writing the 4, right? So yeah, so 32 there, like, yeah, so like the 32 there, the plus sign is 2 to the right. So part of the formatting piece to this will be always find out what the largest number is and apply some padding potentially. Maybe that's one of the solutions, right? So string pad and then just remit.
Okay, numbers should be right aligned. There should be 4 spaces between each problem. 4 spaces?
Right. So if you take a look, so the space between the 8 and the minus sign, or the, yeah.
I see. Okay. Geez Louise. Okay. So I'll just add this to our list here. All of these. And the last one, there should be dashes at the bottom of each problem. The dashes should run along the entire length of each problem individually. And let's just give myself example code. Okay. Assuming the format's correct. All right. Development, write the code. Okay. You can use the main Py to test your arithmetic function. Click run button. We'll run testing the unit tests. We are running tests. Copy your code. So once we complete the code, we put the solution in and then we hit test. So I did monkey around with this last month. And what I was trying to figure out, what my first thing was trying to figure out, because I think you mentioned this, Chris, maybe at our last meeting, is we'd have to figure out what's a number, what's an operator. So when I tackled this, and you guys should be able to reference this. So if I do put it in the chat, we can all look at the same code, or you can ignore my code and do your own thing.
Okay, well, maybe let's talk about some of the, maybe let's just talk about some of the approaches to deal with it. I guess like one of the first things is I guess looking at the input and right, sanitizing it. So like figuring out what is what, whether there's invalid stuff. I guess one of the first things we can check is whether we have we have 1 or 2 parameters. The first one being that list of strings, and the second one being right, and then maybe we flag the mode. Maybe if we detect that second one is true, then we can flag we're in calculate mode. So
the first thing I did, so this is just, I'll show you what I got here. So when I run this,
okay,
it does its whole thing here. Installs all the packages. Okay, so, and this is just my junk code to kind of wrap my head around everything. So it's going through. What was that all about? So for the first one, it says there's 4 elements, and then it goes through. Okay, so J is 32, number, operator. So the J it was just an iterator. So I mean, the J and X can be ignored, but I was trying to figure out how to determine whether it was a number and how it was an operator. So I don't know if just taking the len of the problems would address your first question that you just talked about.
Well, yeah,
Determining-
that's perfect. Yeah. So if it's over 5, we have a problem, right?
Okay. So
I
let me
think
just
if
get rid of
that's if
some-
I'm remembering the rules correctly, because it's like, you know, it's up to 5 inputs.
Okay, so that was the first thing. How do I do a comment in Python? So, yeah, there we go. Okay. Should be no more than 5 problems.
I'm just trying to. We didn't have a zero. They didn't care about the 0 case, right? It was basically if we have zero problems, that's not an error condition according to the specs. I don't think it is.
They're talking about the main here.
Yeah.
Run unit tests automatically. I don't know.
Okay.
So, is it doing so? Okay, still doing all my garbage here. So these are the test cases that they're running at us. So let me just check this.
Okay. It looks like they're always giving us at least one then.
Yeah, they give us, for this example here, you can see how they put a G in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first should be no more than 5 problems. What was the second thing in our list?
Oh, I got it up here. So, and then the error, too many problems. The appropriate operators will accept our addition and subtraction. So that's kind of after the parse, I guess. Multiplication and division will return an error. Other operators not mentioned in this bullet point will not need to be tested. The error returned will be error operator must be plus or minus.
So how I figured out it was an operator was so, and I don't know if this was a sloppy way. I'm sure it was a sloppy way, but I had to go through these different cases, right? So if and I used regular expressions. So by using, and I had to import RE, and I'm not sure if that was correct either, but that was the only way I could get some of these functions to work. So I imported RE, and then I split X. So it's looping through all the problems.
Yep.
So X equals splitting it up. So when I split it, it's now splitting each of the
by white
items.
space. Yeah, it's good.
Correct. And then I loop through another. Again, I was just trying to get somewhere. So this is very sloppy, but so then I go through and I see, okay, is there a damn letter? And I think it did work here because that's what I was trying to find. I noticed that they had 38G1. So that error checking does work when you try to find A to Z and A to Z. And I forget what the plus sign was.
Oh, yeah, I get it. So basically, find as many as you can. Maybe that's a greedy search.
Yeah,
but I'm forgetting my regex.
So that'll find any letters. /D is any digit, so that'll find any numbers. And then the find all, and then specifying specifically the minus and plus will indicate that it's an operator according to my logic. And then I had a catch-all, just a bunch of question marks. So, so should we go through all the errors first? Something similar to this?
I'd almost be tempted to attempt to set up some sort of structure or object that allows us to track all the question stuff. I mean, since we're doing the parsing, we might as well see if we can parse everything into what we need later, right? So operand one, operand one, operator, operand two.
Okay.
And then you pretty much have that there, don't you?
Yeah. Like if I find a digit, I just print number, but I don't actually.
Right. We don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to necessarily print if with this we can then put that value into the question one structure. Right.
Now the
so
only thing
I is so I are the problem. So indexed off of I we have problem one. Then we see about matching things. And if at any point in time we encounter one of the errors, then we don't error on individual problem. We just blanket error whenever it's discovered, I believe, right? So then we could makes sense.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay. As far as this one, finding the number, is there a way with Regex to find the length of a number? Because we're not seeing if it's
well, we don't have to do too many things at once, but if we could put that into the structure, then we could have a secondary validation after we get everything in place.
Okay.
I got some. So like, if there's any error, none of these things run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like for like error checking, if you just like I know JavaScript more than I know Python, but can you like make the array like one big long string? Like just concatenate them all together?
Say that again.
Well, like, because you might get 5 different like array values, right?
Correct.
So if you just make it all one big string, and if it contains a letter, just return an error, like without searching through each individual one. And then, or if it contains like a different operator, it gives you the next error. That way you're not like splitting everything first and then looking for errors. You just look at the whole thing. If there's an error anywhere in there, you just exit.
I see what you're saying. So
then,
look
like,
ahead of, yeah. So you're saying the way I'm going about it is I'm parsing everything and I'm splitting everything up. But you're saying if you look ahead of time at what's provided. So okay.
I'm gonna counter back. It's interesting approach, but it's sort of like we're getting it separated out. We're then combining it, and then we're splitting it out again. I know that, like, using the regex approach is actually pretty expensive, so I see the merit of doing.
Oh, you still use regex, but instead of like searching, like breaking it up into a bunch of pieces, just make one big one.
You know what? But the objective is to actually split it up and get everything in place anyway. So I think Paul, you actually have it already. We already have the check when we're looking at putting in one of the operands. Maybe before you save, then it's like, hey, is there a letter in here? If not, great. So we'll actually parse this out. And then if you get to the 5th one.
But to Hashi's point there, so say the first one here, the number of elements. So I just did a quick check. Okay. So number of elements is 4. So we have 4 problems. So say it's 6. What would the if statement be to just exit out of the whole thing and just return the error? Would it just be print if? It would be something like I almost kind of agree with Ari in a way, like if we could, I like both approaches.
in
Well, no,
JavaScript,
I think we might be mixing two things. Like for the first condition, the number of elements, that's easy. We're already sent with them already split up. It's easy. We get the length of the problems, which gives us the array. We got the number of elements. So then it's just doing the if statement to say, hey, is it greater than 5? If so, boom, we're out of here.
Okay. So how do
Now,
I?
the second subtle one is about detecting the characters and stuff. So the one approach, hey, it's gonna work. And then you know what? And with regex and all that kind of stuff, maybe that is the best play to actually merge everything back together in one string, look for that character, and then say, you know what, this is crap input. We're gonna do that. And the other thing, which is nice, is if you detect any division symbols or multiplies using the regex in that case over the entire string, maybe that's a good way of handling that. So
okay.
So it's not wrong.
Okay, so if we were gonna keep this check, the first one, the way it is, what would the if statement be to break out of this function?
can you just randomly return in Python? So it's like if number of elements is greater than 5, they just type return like 0 or something like that. And it should stop.
Yeah, well, I think basically it's just we remit whatever we want, isn't it? Just printing what we need, and then.
Okay, so if number of elements is greater than 5, I think this is the syntax. I think
like return -1.
Print.
Print, and then the error that they
too many
want.
problems.
Too many problems. And then is it a break or is it a?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't remember. I'm too weak on Python, really. Is it an exit? Is it a break? Is it a Google search? I think it's a Google search.
Google food.
There we go. Python. Oops. Python exit function on error, maybe. Sorry, I got some.
It says return works. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be cool. We can try out a couple things.
Okay. How to quit? This one?
Oh yeah, look at that. 4 ways. Right on.
Let's see.
Quit. Exit. Exit's probably a good way.
It's just exit like that.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Too easy. All right. Okay. We could even make it an else statement. Like we could put our logic, whatever.
No, it's actually in this case, you don't even need to. The exit just it's gone, it's done. So you don't even have to worry about wiring the LFs up.
I'm thinking ahead too much. I'm like trying to keep the code all more fancy than it needs to be. Let me just try to break this. So how many problems? It's 4 problems. So we'll do 2 plus 3. 6x, d6 plus, oops. Of course, I have to do that. 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's see. Too many problems. Okay, so that works. I think that worked. Let me fix this one up. Just want to see what happens here. Number of elements 6. It should have ran that twice, right?
Yeah.
I think exit like stops the program.
Oh, is that the entire? Yeah, that's the entire thing. That's a bit it's a bit heavy duty. Right.
Let me try that again. See, I thought it ran twice, but it didn't.
I think like, I don't know. If you try to return it, I think it'll just exit the function and then continue the program. I think exit just halts.
Okay. I think, okay. That does sound. So Python exit, the function can be implemented. Uses a system exit exception, means that the interpreter encounters an exit. Or the other ways. A quit. So what's the difference between a quit?
There's not a single difference, so nothing. Keep going.
Sys X.
Yeah, that doesn't look any good either. Keep going.
OS exit. So return. You think it's return?
I don't know. Like, that's what I normally do in JavaScript.
But,
yeah. Like return -1. Then,
oh, hey, look, it recognized it. Let's do it.
All right.
So put -1. Otherwise, it might give you something funny.
It ran both functions.
Oh, right on.
Okay, so it's okay. So we don't have to do this anymore. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now to run through the problems.
So let's go with HashMap's approach of combining all of the list elements into a single string.
Okay, let me grab all the problems here. So
because with that approach using Regex, we got a way of quickly finding any certain bad operators and certain yeah.
Okay, so all that's going to be in problems. So how do we look at the whole string of problems? Are you saying just make?
So I'm wondering if I don't know, but there should be a way of probably relatively easily taking a list of strings and generating a full string.
Check
from that.
Python. It's a list, right? Check Python list contains. I wonder if I did this. How to check if an item exists in the list. Obviously, I looked at it earlier. How to check if an item exists in the list. List of strings. Check if.
Yeah, but it's not quite. We almost already have your parsing with the regex you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's doing kind of what we want. I think what HashMap was saying was, hey, why don't we make this list of strings into one string?
Right, but like this example, like that they're saying here is, you can do something like if at is in list of strings. Like,
yeah,
would that work?
So
like,
what I'm saying is, like, before splitting it up into regex, like if there's like a multiply symbol or anywhere, you don't have to like split it up. So it's a very easy check to look at everything. Is there a letter in any of those problems? And if it finds one, it doesn't do anything else, and it just says, okay, I quit. Right?
Now, are we going through a loop? Are you proposing we go through a loop for that, or are we just?
You can. I mean, like for me, sometimes like when I'm programming, it's like if you detect an error like anywhere, like you can just say like there's there's a letter, right? And then you start doing like the heavier work of splitting it up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the code.
I
Okay.
think
Scroll down into the loop you already created, Paul.
But would this work? Like it looks like it's searching.
No, because
to see...
it's an exact match. It's not a regex, which is what we want.
Like it's looking in this whole thing, right?
Yeah, but look, it's looking at, but that's an independent string. It's an independent object.
Oh yeah, I think that's doing like a equivalent.
Yeah. So
like
go back to your code because you already have, I think, what we need here. So down in the problems, right?
Right.
So I mean, technically, even before the regex split, put some space in the top. We can check what that first item is and see, hey, does the first string that we encounter, does it contain, right? So we could do the validation even before doing the split, even with the split on white space.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that works too. Like that's actually probably better. Sometimes like if you get a string that's too long, it won't even, like it would take too long to do that. So,
right.
Yeah,
so now we got the string split. So all we're doing is saying, okay, we have the string 32 space plus sign space 698.
I gave you. I put a link in the chat. If you click on the link, does it open it up and so you can put your code in? Like,
yeah,
what happens? It'd be kind of cool to see if that's possible.
I never used this before. Hold on, let me sign up. Oh geez, all these passwords, all their
no kidding. I was like, oh man, a password.
pictures of buses. Geez.
All right.
Why can't I just sign in and start typing?
Yeah, exactly. Who needs passwordless trust? Not trustless, full trust software.
Needs my permission.
Exactly.
Enable notifications. No. Now, what do we got here? All right, I think I'm in. Where are you? Type. Where are we? There.
Okay, I see something.
Here. Does that show up?
There you go. Yeah.
Right on. Find all. Okay, so before the split.
What? Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to sign in. I apologize.
You got locked out or?
No, it's just because I have such a Luddite way of managing passwords and stuff. It's more of a pain in the butt to do anything, unfortunately.
All right.
Do you have GitHub? Is there an option to log in with your GitHub? Or?
Yeah, but then again, it's like it's just it's, not at hand. But I'll watch. I'm sure it's good.
Okay.
Where are you? The screen share seems to be a bit sort of like, so I can no longer see the code. Yeah.
Okay.
But that could be me. That could be me with my Zoom option. If you need to zoom, I can change my zoom here. There we go. Okay, that's better.
I can zoom in a little bit more here.
Yeah. I'm taking a look at what you're doing. That's the stuff right there. You're basically so for each individual problem that's coming up, you're searching for the wonderful.
Oh, Oh, we're touching each other.
Oh, sorry. No.
I was just gonna move this up here. Oh. Oh.
So maybe for the digital, no, sorry, for the /D, where it finds a number, you can also put something if some kind of logic if statement there, the length of digit, if it's greater than 4.
Oh, here's the question. We could use regex for that too, couldn't we? We could do a regex that searches for 5 digits, and if it finds that,
better.
Then we know we know that it's that we have a bad number, don't we? I just don't remember how to do the regex for that. So,
It's,
so like that, the 5 count for well, actually, wait a second. You just put D, 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 and if you match, you match, I guess. And then it's like so if you're able to match that. Oh, wrong place for that. I think we could get away with doing it in our error for the problems above, right?
it would have to. Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, sort of going on the thing. So we have like the number operator number. You could do that check above, because if it finds either the 2 numbers or whatever, it's going to ignore the plus sign.
Yeah.
Okay. I think. Yeah. Then we're good.
I don't know Python regex for that. So.
Well, what about just putting /D/D/D/D as opposed to being clever? That should work too, right?
Well, we need more. So just a second.
/D square brackets 5 would cover it, would it not?
Yeah.
Actually, it wouldn't catch every edge case, because if somebody put in what if they put a 6-digit number? What if they put a 7-digit number?
But then we catch that too, because all you're doing is you're not it doesn't matter about white space on either side. You find 5 digits. You'll find 5 digits if you have 6 digits. You'll find 5 digits if there's 7 digits. So you found what you wanted. At least that's what I'm thinking. I think that regex would work that way with.
Find regex author.
Yeah, get rid of this one.
So I think it's okay. So that's almost it. Let's just check. Looks like this. What doesn't it like here? Undefined name. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did you try to run it, or?
No, not yet. I didn't spell things right. Okay, try that.
Okay. I kind of like your negative. Well, let's see what happens here. So too many problems. That was the first one that we did. And then it crashed on line 19. So it didn't like this setup.
Oh,
now
sorry.
what
You gotta go like that. Now try it. Still doesn't like it? Line 8. Line 19.
Type error. Find all. What is it? Find all requires. It's missing one required positional argument.
Regex doesn't like backslashes and stars.
Oh, there's in some of the positional requirements below, there's like a colon I, or not comma I. Is that what we're missing on that? Because we're not actually switching anything.
Oh, right, because we have it in
Oh, okay, yeah. I see.
And then we're missing a few of those. So there, now we're searching a string.
That makes sense.
Gotcha. Nice, that's looking better. Okay. So it said it errored on the first one that we gave. And then where's this none coming from?
Yeah, very good question.
So this is what's being submitted. 32.
Oh, I see. That's because that's is that trying to, okay, go back to your code. Okay, so print number per, but yeah, where is it outputting?
Question mark. So it's going through all these use cases here. So it's skipping all this logic. All right, so let's try to trip up on the first one. So Ari, did you already, he's already ahead. I see what he's doing.
Cool. So I got to step out for a couple minutes. I will be back.
Sounds good.
Just got to run an errand.
I just got to let the dog out the room too. Keep going, HashMap. Valid format. So we got. What's this? Sorry, hang on. What happens if we uncomment this? I'm just curious. May not define. I don't know why that was commented out.
Wow. Oh.
Okay, so too many problems. It's catching the first one. Numbers must only contain digits. Nice. You did that twice. But you did
yeah. I left the P in there. Hold on, we'll try one more. See what it does.
Try like multiply or division there. Try multiply and division.
Multiply and divide. Oh.
Yeah, on a separate problem. Or
I'm getting too excited. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so good. So that caught that one. And then it's doing -1, -1. I think we should get rid of that -1 and just do a return.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, this is kind of fun.
Oh,
can't really like.
Glad to hear.
Kind of, you can code together. It just puts none. Hold on. What if I return this? Happens there.
Too many problems. None. What if? Okay, hang on. Well, you're doing that. I'm just going to do a Google search. So, Python return from function. Return without value.
I think void. I don't know if that's a valid Python. Doesn't look like it.
Somebody had a question on Stack Overflow. Let's just see what they said. So return none. none with a capital N.
Yeah, it just returns none.
It returns none. So that's yeah. So using return.
I mean, break should work as well.
What if you put? Let's see.
Yeah, I think break works the same thing, just no value.
No value. Oh, it gives none as well.
Oh, it just skips. There's no return value. Oh, I think it does the same thing. Oh, error. What the hell? No. Break. Main pot. If what? Oh, okay. Yeah. So break statements only work inside loops and switch statements.
Yeah. Let's remove the return. Just try to remove the return. Actually, fuck. No, because it's going to still go through the rest of the function.
I mean, we could hold on. There's got to be a way to terminate function or exit function. Function void. Turn none.
Return and return none.
I don't know. It should work for the computer. If something goes wrong, we'll just modify it so that these are all if statements or else if statements, and it'll only run if it bypasses all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Does the none bother you?
What's quit? What did we try? We tried quit and that didn't work, right?
Yeah, exit just terminates the function. So I return this, so you exit, I think -1.
And then quit was the same?
Yeah, quit does the same thing. Yeah, so it just exits. Doesn't do anything after that. So kind of unfortunate that the console will print that out. Whatever.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Let's just keep the none for now.
What happens if I go if it finds a number greater than 4, Regex digit number line. Starting 4.
So that we don't have the logic for the that yet, okay? Numbers must only error. Numbers cannot be more than 4 digits. So what's the first parameter in the curly braces?
So that's the minimum length, and then that's the maximum length. I just don't know. I don't know if Python, sometimes you gotta type this stuff in a different way. Regex matches. Right now I have /d. You can do ranges. Before.
Oh, it's not quite what. You have the right idea. It should work. Did it work?
No, it's not.
Try a backslash, or sorry, the other slash. This is what I'm seeing, like that.
Oh, hold on. I'm reading some extra. What are we looking at?
There we go.
Oh,
we had the wrong slash. So yes,
okay.
Looking at, yeah, I saw that on Stack Overflow.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. That's good.
Okay, so that's groovy. So we cut that error, we cut that error. I think that's all the errors. So now we just have to make the formatting.
Where are we at? Where are we at? There's too many pages here. That one's got to close. That one's got to close. Scientific. Formatting. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Print, print, print.
Get rid of that. So let's, for the main, let's give it some, so we try to trip up with the errors. And this one, you have a valid error for the last one, right?
Yeah, so there, well, okay, so we're all done with errors. Now we need to build some weird string.
So I think we have an error here. So operator must be, so we gave a bunch of use cases, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah. I'm looking at Zoom and I'm looking at my code. All right, we'll look at your code, okay. So what are we seeing? Must be.
So it exited on our valid input. So
okay.
it thought numbers cannot be more than 4 digits. So something is happening with our valid input.
Okay. Cannot be more than 5 digits.
So what's happening here?
If it's not, okay, is this a not operator in Python, or is it this? Or is it this?
I think it's the exclamation mark. I just don't know where placement is.
I think if we go and change this to 5. What the? /d 5. Numbers cannot be more than 5 digits. Oh, that has to be done after the split. No, it doesn't. I think, okay. So if you find something that is longer than 5, then quit. So return, run that. Find all. Already done. /d. That work?
Oh, fuck. What's going on here? And now it's splitting up the first number.
This is what's hard to like.
Yeah. I think the splitting is messing things up here.
It's breaking it up. It's okay, what are we doing? Python, Regex. Group of digits. Match all 5-digit numbers.
I have problems. When do I introduce RE? RE.
That's a regex, I think. Regular expressions. It won't work without that.
Yeah, okay.
4 digits. Okay, find
But
all.
why is it?
It's a work radio. Find all. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Maybe we gotta do something like this. /d. If it finds all.
Line 27.
Done. Not be one. Find all. Line 17. Print. Oh, sorry, I'm doing stuff like this. Trace line 17. Error must be on. Right. Did I do that? Ah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm curious. What if you do? I just want to see what's going on here. So if you do print, something like that. I don't know if we can do this. What's it outputting? So it says I. So that looks correct. So it's getting the first problem, and then it cacks out, and then it goes to the second problem. Numbers cannot be more than 4 digits. So it's actually looking. So this is our problem: is that it's not splitting. It's looking. Okay, I see what's happening. I equals 32 plus 698, right? So we do have to split it up, because what's happening is, and maybe this is, maybe our error catching isn't working, is that it's treating each entry.
Yeah, it's one long string, but regex is like with this, that backslash, like the big D. You look in the, so that backslash and then the little d, so the big D and then the little d with the 5, and the big D, it says, like regex has functions inside of it that says, I want you to look for a group of digits that's bigger than 5 that is surrounded by something that's not numbers. So it's doing it like automatically. So that, I mean, I think, because
but somehow our logic is firing, because it's saying, well, yeah, hell, this digit is larger than 5, right? Just our regular.
We split this up. Down. That work? RE split I. Oh, I have removed code that I needed.
Yeah, so originally in my original code, I had it split up, and then I went, yeah, exactly. I went in each element, right?
Yeah. And there's the thing with Python.
So change your you have the right logic. Yeah, you already had. Good. J, nice. Let's change J again here. See what happens. First of all, let's do yeah. I want to see what this is. Typical messy code here for me.
Okay, let's try that. Bam. Numbers cannot be more than 4 digits. Maybe I gotta go like this. Ah!
What?
Oh, okay, so it needs the comma. Yeah, that's like the weird part with regex. Like all these characters, no, that's not working either. What the hell?
So that the first one we said was supposed to be minimum, right? Minimum and then max.
Yeah. It's not exiting. Not number operator. So X, we'll go like this. Oh.
Wait, do you have the right idea, Hashy? Do that.
Okay,
I think you were on the right.
So I is J, numbers cannot be more than 4. What the hell is going on? Oh, okay, wait, you're doing stuff.
Try this. No, okay.
we switch it back to 5, nothing, and run, do the same thing. Uh-oh, what's it doing?
Well, I'm doing something there. So
Oh, okay.
choose my changes. It just asked me, what do I want? Okay, so I'm going to do, I just want to see what happens here. All right, run that. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that didn't work.
Line 7. Why does it jump back to line 17?
Len J. I have too many.
In module print.
Yeah, it doesn't like, what's going on here?
Oh, is it for I in problem? Line 38. Okay, so it wasn't like line 38. Length of J. So not concatenate strings, not int. Does it change it into a number already? Is there like a type of operator in Python?
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, type. We'll do that. What is this?
String, not integer to string. I see. Type error, cannot count. Should not type. Class string. So it thinks it's a string. So I wonder if we, this is our issue. And I'm wondering if we covered this in one of the videos that they provided. Maybe we have to convert, you had the right idea. So it thinks it's a string. So we're like, if it's a digit higher than this, do this, but it's not a digit, it's a string. So I'm wondering if we have to convert the string to a digit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it, but hold on. Let's see what this is doing. Okay. Number cannot be more than 4 numbers. Oh, that's working now.
What do you got?
Well, if you scroll up to the top, so hold on, I'll just change the input. We'll go. Switching programming languages is hard. All right, so now it's working.
So what were we missing?
I think, I don't know. So it's not even printing this stuff out. What the hell? Print? Okay. So yeah, I don't know. It's working.
So you don't know what you changed.
Like, nope.
All right.
It's a bug. It's a feature. It's a feature.
It's a feature. All right. All right.
Feature.
I'll take it. Okay. So groovy. All right. So that was our last error catch. Good. Okay. So then we have to do the formatting.
You gotta be kidding. Now what? Oh, did you what?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm monkeying around here. So yeah, I'll let you have the steering wheel.
Oh no. What do we do? Oh no.
So we got to format now. So now our logic is about displaying the operator. So I don't know how we're going to figure out how to take the number of each item. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's
what's going on here? It's not running anymore.
Let's do clear.
Oh, okay, never mind. I think that's what it was. Oh.
Oh, it says there's something in the main that doesn't like. Line 27.
Python main.
Unexpected end of file.
You have to do something, or
Oh,
it wasn't there before?
yeah. You know what? Maybe we just have to refresh. You hear, see what happens. I hope it saved our changes.
Oh no, now we've got now we have a new feature. Expected
Expected end of file while parsing. What's going on here? Oh, this sucks.
Python.
Yeah, right.
When the end of your code is reached before all this happens when you make a mistake in the structure. End of file. Not this.
This just sucks. Okay. Let's see here.
Line 27. Unexpected end of file while parsing. All right, what does Stack Overflow say?
No, that's not what.
The end of your source code was reached. A code block.
Maybe it's going through our logic. It started breaking when we got our logic here. No, something's up here.
Oh, this was the last thing we changed. If I remove that, what happens? No.
It might be. I wonder if it's this replit. I'm just gonna.
Oh, at the bottom of like the Python functions there. What are we doing? This.
Sorry.
4. Oh, okay, maybe it's this. Range problems. What? Return a range problem. Okay, well, we'll skip that. Oh.
The last print function is also weird. Here's what you did. You have a couple of things that need to have parentheses closed. So do we have a missing parentheses somewhere?
Don't think so.
Move that comment down. Yeah, good call. How are you doing that? I'm just curious. How do you move the whole line?
Oh, you hold Alt and you can push the up and down.
Oh, nice.
Then if you want to be real cheeky, you push Alt and Shift and you can copy things as many times as you want.
Nice. Wow.
Okay, so print X. This is. I ran into this problem the other day. I was trying to like do templating with the templating engine in Node.js, and I realized that I don't like white space programming for this reason, because it's like, where is the issue? Loading.
Oh man.
It says loading. Arithmetic arranger. I feel like I've broken something.
No. Let's just see here.
Okay. Well, like that. Right.
What'd you do?
Okay, so it's something in this one it doesn't like.
The main?
No. So I commented out the valid input like code, and then it runs. So then if I put it back, now it's okay. So something is wrong.
Shift.
Find
it's this.
E plus something here is.
You're missing a parentheses at the very end of that one.
Where?
The line 20. So if we do that, it'll run again. Line 20 of main, not the arithmetic ranger.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. Thanks. I don't know. All right.
No.
Back on track.
All right. So let's back on the main one. Uncomment this one out as well. I'm just going to add a comment with the solution option because we do have to provide that at some point.
Yeah.
All right. So back to here. So yeah, I don't know if you can see my zoom here. What we have to do is display according to all these formatting rules. So I think you've done an excellent job sorting out all our error catching. Good job. Now is the fun part of getting all this formatted correctly. So the first formatting, there should be a single space between the operator and the longest of the two operands. So we have to figure out which of the operands. So I guess my first question is, how do we capture, because this is the only logic we have, is we print out, it's a number. It's like, okay. Yeah. So how do we put the number in one operand? And I assume it's always going to be a two-dimensional array, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a placeholder for two numbers. So I guess my question is, how do we keep track of that? How do we keep track of, okay, is our list empty? Okay, put it in the first placeholder. Okay, run it again. Okay, it's another number. Is the placeholder one already taken? Okay, let's put in the second placeholder, right?
Yeah. So
this is a lot of Googling.
I think if the length of problem.
If I was going to put some pseudo code here, it's like an operand has two values, right? So how do we keep track? How do we initiate the?
Well, there's got to, like, this is all going to be outputted as one string, right? I think that's how it works.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we're going through the whole list, right?
Yeah.
Like this is looping through. So the first time it goes around, we create a list of 2 digits, and then we fill the first placeholder. And then we fill the second placeholder, because what we have to do eventually is look at those 2 placeholders and say, which is longer? Okay, this one's longer. So we need to take the length of this one and the whole spacing and shit. So I'm just seeing, defining a list. Define.
I would just cheat and make like a 2D array and then like reassemble it into one string. That's how I would do it.
So it says, how do you, on Stack Overflow, how to create an empty list in Python with a certain size. And somebody said, you cannot assign a list unless it's already initialized with at least I plus elements. So not
like what we have right now is like we know how long the list is, and then we know how many elements. Like it's always going to be like a number plus or minus a number. So it's like it'll look like, say, like 1, 2, 3, and then we'll pop in and it'll be a plus, and then the next thing will be like this, or what, like not like that, right? This would be like 2, 3, 4 minus, like, so we can just make an array that's like like I don't know, like if lists are what they're called, but it would be the length of problems. And then like multiply it by 3 is the array size, and then just fill it. And or we could do like a 2D array that's like length of problems and then 3, and then fill it all in. That's the only way I can think of doing this, because we have to like fill the array and then format it, or because I don't know if does Python have string functions where you can do like right alignment, like a formatted print function, like a printf? Does Python have printf?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do that. Python. How to print like printf? Oh, geez. Okay, percent f. What the f? Function operator. What the?
So yeah, we can actually make an empty array. And then we can append. We can actually append to the empty array. So see this example
Okay, yeah.
here?
So like a zero value, like an empty array, and then just like push onto it. Yeah.
So we could do that. We could do if we do something like operand, something like that. I almost like want to define operand ahead of time.
Yeah, I would do it before, like after,
Yeah.
right before the split.
I'm going to remove this. This is going to burn us. Operand. Okay. And then we can append operand. So we could do something like operand append J.
Is it gonna have it's got to be in the curly brace, doesn't it? Something like that.
Sorry. Yeah. What did I do there? Sorry. And sorry. Yeah. Sorry. It's got to be in parentheses here. I could catch. I'm just going to do this. Let's see what happens here. So it didn't like that.
I think it's operand equals. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Oh, you beat me to it, or?
No. That's just, I'm not even looking. I'm watching you. I did the error handling. I'll go up there.
Okay, J32. Okay, none. Okay, so I think we're on the right track here. So,
then you got to append if it's a plus or a minus type thing.
So let's do another one here. Operator. I'm gonna make it an empty list as well. Operator. Same deal. Hey, Chris. We totally solved it.
Excellent. All right.
No, of course we didn't. So we just to catch up to speed, Hashi and I, we went through all the error handling here.
Yep.
So we tested that out extensively. We figured out the number, or I should say HashMap did most.
Mm-hmm.
So we got all the error handling now. Now we're moving on to the formatting.
Formatting
So
or the parsing, or it looks like you got the parsing all done then too, right?
Well, this is our thinking. So what we're doing is setting up empty lists. aka empty arrays, and then we're able to append values. And
Okay.
that's about as far as we got, because part of the formatting, one of the first things is there should be a single space between the operator with the longest of the two operands, right? So it's already figuring out, okay, how do you keep track of the two operands and which one's larger and which one's not?
Because you have to sort them. Makes sense. Yeah.
So,
or do you need to sort them?
what we're doing so far is just capturing them in a list.
Yeah.
So
okay.
if the logic stands to reason, this is going to go through at least, what we need to is some kind of counter here.
I think append, you don't need a counter for append because it just slaps it onto the end of the list.
No, but hear me out here. So, okay. Well, yeah, there's two ways to do this. So one is we fill up the list and then we check, does the list have two values? If so, start running the logic. Okay, which one's bigger? Okay, do the spacing. I guess my question, okay, as I'm speaking
I have
out
a question,
here,
just to completely mess here. So now in some programming languages, and I'm not sure about Python, there's some pretty cool string formatting functions that allow you to pad on one side of a string, right?
right?
So you can create a string and then put things in front of it, which is sort of what we want to do with our values here. And I wonder if there's that function that could be very useful. And where I'm going with that is basically the next step. What if the next step is just making sure, okay, let's just make sure we get the numbers, right? Because we don't want to format too soon, just in case we need to calculate with one of these in the future.
Right. Okay. While I was yammering on there out loud, I guess the other thing we got to do is thinking about how we print it out, right? Because it's not as if we can print one vertical thing and then we can move over and print another vertical thing. We have to print out the full first line, right? We would have to print this out, and then we'd have to print the second line, and then the third line and the fourth line, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, if we create a list with all the numbers and we create a list with all the operands, we could do something, some kind of simple logic saying, okay, print out the odds first, then the evens. As far as figuring out the
no,
the
I'd be tempted. I'd be tempted to try to batch to try to like wrap each individual one of the things together. So 32 plus 8 goes together in some way. But then we can be creative when we go through the loop to print potentially. So okay, so we're going to go through I guess function 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or say if there's up to 5, then we just do the first part as the first pass through the print function, and then the second one, then that's when we do the second line pass.
Okay. I think it's grouped together anyways, right? Because the problems are presented in order, right?
Yeah, it's, I guess with if we have like just an array, like an array of operands, it would just and that's fine. I mean, it's going to work. It's just from an object point of view, just and then kind of understanding how things are sort of grouped together. That's sort of why I'm leaning that direction as opposed to let's just put it into an array called operand and then loop through, use like the odd and even type of thing to figure out, what part we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of group it together to make, yeah.
Or if we were to have 3 separate arrays, it would be operand 1, operand 2, and then operator. And then you could use the same index to kind of go through, and that index tracks the question that you're on. And that could prove useful if you're trying to do maybe a calculation or something like that, 32 plus 80 is 40 later on, which is
So we could do something like operand even and an operand odd, and we could just figure out if it's an even odd, and then depending on that,
it almost doesn't matter. You just have two arrays, operand 1 and operand 2. So how that would, when we're parsing everything out and putting it in, so the first values put into operand 1 would be 32. The first value put into operand 2 would be 8.
I think just because
an operator would be plus, I guess, in that case.
The issue I see is that like right here we're doing 4j in x, so we're not counting like where we're at, and then if you go down here to append, like there's no way for us to know where we're at.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is, because you're still in context of I. This is an inner loop, right?
J is in I, yes, correct.
Like,
right. So then the index to the operand when you're adding is I, essentially.
Oh shit.
Right?
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So he's saying use I as an index. So if I is 1, we're dealing with problem 1. So everything with I, like the J items in I, belong to I1. And then when it goes to I2, now we're dealing with problem 2, and we're creating all the J items. We can call it whatever, but this is what we've used, I and J. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about the indexing.
You're just keeping it together, and then you can complete the parsing step. And we haven't got to the calculation step or layout step, but we've set up everything we need to then figure out how we're going to print. And it sort of keeps, we're not messing around with figuring out how we're printing. We're just, okay, we know we want these values here, so we're putting them somewhere. And then maybe we put them in this like operand A, operand B, operator list indexed by I. And then if we need to leap through it in the future or loop through it in a different way, so we're ready for it. Yeah.
All right. So let's, what do you recommend here? Where should we go from here?
So we got the error checking, and the next piece is just basically filling in these empty lists we have, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. It's just okay. So we want for J in X, the first J is supposed to be the first operand. So then we pop that into whatever list we have reserved for.
So we have operand up here. So it is appending as far as I think.
Yeah.
What we could do here, just to test what we have thus far, we could do and we could do the same thing with operator. And let's just see what we have. So of course I break it. Line 42. Operand.
Oh,
operand.
Oh, you need an index. So put bracket I to it, I think, right?
Can I just,
you need an indexer to it. Or maybe Python allows you to print the entire list. That it does. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Never mind.
Yeah. Damn. I don't know why. So what's it saying?
You can go something like this, can't you? Like,
oh, you know what? Maybe.
Oh, I see what it's doing. Yeah.
Maybe I didn't have a space. There, I'm just going to remove that.
No, because you're concatenating a string to a list. That's exactly what it's saying. So you can't. It's just because of the plus. Yeah.
Okay.
That's yeah. So there we go. You can print that out, but
that's ridiculous. Okay, whatever. Let's see. See if it works. Okay. Okay, so J is 32. J is plus. then it goes through again, and so now it's two numbers. Okay, so it is appending. And then we print out X. So that's the first problem. So that's X1.
I think we got
like, I mean, we could even label X here just to keep track of the problems. It is what does it? Yeah, it resets. Okay, I was so concerned about resetting the list, but because of the nature that it's cycling through I, it's resetting the list every single time, right?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, because you're basically appending, right? And then I is incrementing, so it should be you should always be. Oh, I
So
see.
this,
So it's not actually it's appending, but it's not. It's resetting your list, and that's because that operand stuff is within the I loop. You need to put it outside of the loop. Yeah. I get it. So you see where operand is there? That needs to pop outside of the for I and whatever the variable is.
oh, so we have to declare them. I see what you're saying.
do the alt block. Oh, you could have done
Right,
the alt
so
block.
you read it, yeah.
Like that. Oops. Let's do that.
There we go. Seems to be growing.
Okay. It's really growing. Our list is resetting. What was our problems we had here before? I just want to see. So this is valid input 1 and valid input 2. Okay. Oh, so that's why I was seeing it twice. I kind of liked it where it was before, the list resetting.
I think it was doing both. I saw it do it twice, and then
yeah,
Chris saw it resetting every time. So solved both problems at once.
Those numbers are throwing me off. So do we want a long list, or do we want it where it's resetting? Because
here's the reason why we might go with the long list. That's because after we do the parsing loop, then we've captured these in 3 different areas, right? So operand A, operand B, and then operator list. We want access to problem number 1. We use in the indexer of the first item in the list to access that, and then we have access to all 3 using that method. For our printout, where we need to print a line of things, we can go through just operator A list, print. And then the second list, we use the operator combination of operator and operand B. And
what
then
if
go through the index.
We try and print 1 first? Like, well, we'll go into the. I'll disable valid input 2. But
so I'm looking up like string formatting, because I think that's the real cool stuff with Python here.
and then like, so I don't know, like if I print arithmetic for printing X, so 4. So I'm just saying we'll do like this.
sorry, where are you, Hashy? I don't see where. Oh, your changes are down here. Okay.
Is Python 0 or 1 based?
0 base.
All right. 0. Do commas work? I don't know. We'll find it. What's that here?
Oh, wait a second. Now there's a problem with that, right? No, well, I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, that does work. Perfect.
Nice.
So what I was proposing is actually splitting up. We have the operator list, having two separate lists to track the first. No, actually, what? No, sorry. This not operator, but operand. Have two separate arrays to manage that.
What did I do? Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. So that is how I would write it to start. How would you do it, Chris?
Oh, for print? Oh, for
yeah,
printing?
just to print it out.
Yeah, just weak on Python, but one thing I do is I take the opportunity to look at some string formatting things with Python, because there might be a way of doing the right align for the text and then padding, auto padding in the front kind of thing. Make sense? Yeah. So I'm thinking there's some really cool things to, like, if this is partly a learning exercise, digging into this would be like awesome, right? Because this is the stuff this is kind of the stuff that could be what we want. Right align, auto pad. Basically, if we can figure out what length we want, we could. Actually, one thing we don't have yet is probably the length of the longest operand.
So what you're saying is we could actually put a string and then almost like template it out. Is what you're saying?
I'm thinking that could be that'd be a handy way of doing it, as opposed to just this is the cool way of doing it, I think. But I just don't know enough about this to know if there's any gotchas and if we'll have some limits.
Yeah, let's see if we can find
yeah.
Documentation is not that great.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, it's like,
oh, why is it
like reading a RFC page?
Let's see here. Python.
Oh, here we go. I like the first one because it said common string formats.
That's the Python document.
Oh, that's the string operator. Yeah, okay.
A W3 like makes it like so easy to digest, like first time around, like, oh yeah. Okay, so text put it in curly braces and then print text format. Okay, let me just try this out here. So if you have a string, then you print this string but format the price to 49, it'll say $49.
No, well, so the curly braces are the string interpolation, right?
Yeah.
You've heard of that before? So basically that the template is the text. The curly braces, anything in that is effectively like a code. And then it looks like after the colon you can apply formatting to the variable. So for that string, price is actually a variable in that. And then you set that variable to something.
So we could do something. Yeah, I'd see the only. I see where you're going, Chris, but like, how would you write text in this instance, right? Like, I mean, it's because some of the logic, these are good ideas, by the way, but we still have to do, like, the first problem here for the formatting is there should be a single space between the operator of the longest of the two operands. So already they're kind of giving you a hint, right? That you have to take the two operands and say, okay, which one's the longest? And then you have to add a single space to that value. So it's almost like, and we know it can only be up to 4, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's a piece of the code that we need to write. And I mean, we could write that now, get that, and once we have that value, we're ready to use it later. Maybe that becomes useful in one of these, if we're doing the string formatting to output. But maybe we go a different way. Although we do know that we need to know between the two operands which one's bigger, and the values, so that we can either apply formatting or another clever trick to make it happen.
So are you recommending, like, the V might be something like, God, I don't even know how to do this.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe there's like a magic code, and you're able to put and maybe there's a way of putting a number in there that allows you to say, hey, we want to.
I got something on the other page there, if you boys want to take a look at it.
Yeah, sure. So you're looking, okay, string format. Oh, wow, okay. It's coming along. So you've padded up. What's the A value?
So that's just like, if you look like A, and then like, I think you can switch it to this, like 0, and I can just go like, I don't know, I was just looking quick. I think you can go like this, 0 and 1. You don't need these. That's just to like label them, I think. Oh, what are we doing? This website hates me.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I think that also works. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Is that what you're looking at?
Stack Overflow. Here's a link. There is a magically formatted code thing. So getting closer. I mean, with the formatting, if you know the formatting, I think this is probably the way to go, because it's probably dead simple once you see it. But
I'm going to use Chrome. I don't want to use Edge here. Oh, okay. Whoa. Yeah, I think you're on the right track, Hashi. Yeah, I think it's very similar. And this is for Python, I see. New line. Greater than 12, greater than 12, greater than 12.
I think, hold on. I think this is how, I don't know if you can. Does that work?
actually, I think you could just put a colon in front of the line there. Yeah, and I think that'd.
Okay. And if we do something like this, does that allow access?
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Does that work? I don't think it worked.
No, but you could. I'm wondering can you string concatenate that particular string together and then format it. That'd be an interesting thing, because then you could control what the.
I'm not sure, but I gotta go run a little loader for a few minutes. So I'll be back.
Okay. I'll see you in a few. All right. So, well, he's doing that. So help me out here. So what's the formatting here? The 0 colon, what's that signify?
So the 0, so the 0 represents your first parameter in the format function afterwards.
This still looks like it's kind of brute force in a way. Am I mistaken?
Oh, so we got to remove the inner curly brackets from there. So the example that I sent, if you could remove curly bracket, remove the one left curly bracket. Now remove the one. Now do a greater than symbol.
Right here?
Yep. And then a number.
What number are we?
Just this is where we're sort of playing around with the formatting to learn. So maybe, yeah, 7. See what's what. Let's count everything here.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like it's pushing it over to a 7th, over to the 7th position. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's kind of what we want, because we just.
It has to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Right. It's just, and now like before we get there, we basically need to compare our operands to figure out what the maximum number is, so that we can write align it appropriately.
Okay. Why is this printing out? This here.
That's playing around, I guess. Oh, we have the brute force up. Okay, and then we have the string format. Yeah, okay.
Where's that one's coming from?
Good question. Where? Yeah, it's printing out the.
Let's see what's going on here.
Maybe that's in the main.
Must be, right?
Print.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Okay, that's better. No, it's still print.
Yeah, but we needed to remove two things.
Okay. Okay, so I think let's clean this up a little bit here, because we got our building blocks.
Now, I would actually split out operand into operand A and operand B.
Say again?
I think I'd be tempted to actually split out the operands, but I get what you guys are doing. Okay, we can leave it like this. It's a bit more complicated when working through it. And the other thing is, I think it's probably best if we have everything parsed into the arrays and then like separate out our concerns, right? So right now the concern is, okay, let's make sure everything's in a data structure that we can work with, right? And then afterwards, okay, so now let's figure out how we're going to print it out from those operands.
Just see what our output looks here thus far. I just want to see if I cleaned up everything. Okay. I still don't know, honestly, where this one's coming from. X. That is up here.
Oh, there we go, print X.
Okay. We got the brute force. Let's get rid of brute force here for now.
Yeah.
But this here, I'm a little confused where.
Oh, I know, that's in the main.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where?
Arithmetic arranger. Print, because it's printing the output from arithmetic. Well, is that true? Well, yeah, I think so. Because so that last valid input, you're basically, okay, so it's inputting in, and we're printing whatever's coming back from arithmetic arranger. If you go to arithmetic arranger, the code now, the code there, we're returning the arranged problems. The value in the arranged problems are in the array. That's why. Yeah.
So it's giving us the print, but
yeah.
This is what it's returning.
Right. So it's a returning a range problems, but print is displaying to screen. So I don't know if there's.
So should
we don't have to worry about it just yet. I think we have, but we can deal with that. That's at the end. That's
okay.
Yeah. So
all right. Because I guess my question is, does our function print out or does it return all the things arranged properly? Like it's arranging the format, and that's what's actually.
I think it prints out, but yeah, it's a good question to think about. But because
what we could do, this is kind of getting ahead too, but our logic thus far, we could actually try to put it in, and I think it runs some tests. No, it didn't even do any.
How does that?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
It's bullshit. It really is. That's it.
Because there was something here. It says the test units for this project are in test module. We are running the test from test module in
Hit the
main
run
for
button.
your
Yeah.
convenience.
Yeah. Okay.
So whenever you hit the run button. Alternatively, you may run the test by inputting PyTest in the console. So in the console, we can just do PyTest, and our logic isn't really working.
Oh, what's unless it doesn't like the use of regex, is that no, mind you, the first parts are so the first parts are the.
What I'm thinking is,
but actually for the test, if it's expecting us to print something out, we're not there yet.
Right, but I mean, it should have passed this one here, right?
Okay.
I know I'm getting ahead of ourselves maybe a little bit, but I'm afraid we're almost like deviating off on a different path, because why is this failing? Right? This should have been number one, unless this should have been returning this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. So in opposed to printing, yeah, you're right. You know what? It will return a string that describes the error that is meaningful to the user. So the function actually returns the string. That's our problem. We can, and that's why the print on the other side. So what we can do is we need to refactor, but interesting, we are returning that string there, aren't we?
So I'm just gonna, yeah, I just did that. I just changed it. So let's see if PyTest 9 failed. So I did, it actually passed.
Oh, which one passed?
One passed, and it was the too many error problem. So that's what it's not that we're printing, it's what we're returning. This is a function that returns.
Yeah, that's right. So we can, that'll help out. So then with all these other ones, if we then return, got it. Okay, this is helpful.
Most of the problems for freeCodeCamp, they provide the submit this and then we'll let you know if you passed, right?
Well, you kind of need to pass it through, otherwise, like printing it, it's hard. Can you expect it to even?
Okay, so we passed three tests. So we got to just return this one here. Okay. All right. I should have passed that one. So 4 pass. Okay, so we only have 6 failing tests.
So the arrangements, yeah, for the most part. Okay.
Okay.
And for the arrangements, we can print for now and then later on it's concatenating the string output, I guess, with new lines and all that fanciness.
I don't know what we get there. Okay, so for our testing purposes, we're okay with it to keep printing. All right, so it's going to be something like when we return it, it's also going to have values of like new line, right?
Yeah, it's, now the way I'm thinking here is like, okay, we'll worry about stitching it up later, but let's get everything into a variable, and maybe we could even do some pre-formatting.
Okay.
So right now we're populating operand and operator. So I was really now, okay, so here's another way of rethinking this whole for J and X. At this stage, are we confident that we're always dealing with three values split with white space? Because I think we are from the right. So as opposed to doing a for J and X, we could actually X equals 0 is operand A. X at 1 is our operator, and X at 2 is operand B. We could do a string length on operand A and operand B to figure out what the largest one is, store that value.
So this is what it's expecting. It actually tells you what it's expecting. It's saying assert that.
Yeah, that's layout. That's the layout. So
that's odd though.
what's odd?
This double equal sign.
No. What it's the double equal sign.
Oh,
that's part of its internal code. Yeah,
gotcha.
You see this, like everything after that single quote there. That's the string it's expecting, with
gotcha.
the new lines in there with the yeah.
New line operator.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man. All right. Okay, so we have all the operands in one list. We have all the operators in another list.
I'm almost tempted to rethink that at this point, given what we can do with the formatting.
Well, we were under the assumption that we could print it out, right, with the format syntax.
Yeah, but the format
now,
syntax works equally well printing to or storing as a variable or concatenating to another string.
But would it pass the test that they've assigned?
If that string is precisely what if we output a string that matches space 3801, whole bunch of spaces, 1 2 3, new line, minus, etc., we pass the test. So however we concatenate that together, that's gonna work for us. So maybe as opposed to having now a couple different ways of doing this, but one way maybe as opposed to having the operand and the operator strictly speaking as running lists, we just have the lines that we're going to be outputting, right? So line 1, line 2, line 3, with an index maybe with an index into it. Do we need an index into it? No, we just need lines with a line. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have. I have to try to talk through this. I don't have the.
Are you? Do you want to keep going? I mean, we're at 9:15. We've made some progress. I mean, we've got some good error checking.
Oh, dude, I see the finish line here. It's just it, right?
You see the finish?
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is great. Okay, so I'll try to talk through it one way. See if let me know if, okay, so you see where it says operand 1, operand operator that time? Get rid of those. So store a basically we have a we create lines, say, maybe, right? Lines.
Line 1, line 2.
Yeah, or it's, we can append too. Maybe that's fine. Could we append? No, we could start with, yeah. So basically, we need something to track lines. So then we go through our problems, right? So problem number 1, we go through. We get to the split section. Now, some assumptions we bake into this, and they're fair assumptions to this point. The first J we encounter, that's going to be on the line 1. The second J we encounter is the operator that we need to deal with, and the third J we deal with is going to be that second operand. Now, if we're guaranteed to have at this point, because we've done all our error checking properly, we're pretty much guaranteed to have re.split split into a list of 3 things. We don't need to do the for J and X on it. We can work on the, you know what, our X at 0, that's our first operand. Now let's start doing string functions with it and add it to line 1.
Okay, I follow.
Yeah, and then okay, so then we know how, and then X at 1 is our operator, and X at 2 is our second operand. For line 2, then we can do some string operations on it, and then add to string 2.
Okay.
Now, the one thing we're missing, we've kind of missed, but we can get there, is we're missing a key piece of information, and that's the length of the biggest operand. But since that's in either X0 or X2, we just find the length of both of those and keep track of the longest string there.
Okay, so back to.
And then with that longest string, I think with the formatting stuff we've looked at, we can be clever and actually format our strings using the longest format piece to precisely match what we're trying to target. And then add things to line 1, add things to line 2, and then we can, using that same bit, what's the longest string? We can add the lines.
Is there a way to make this easy? Because I've seen this before where you have like almost like a Boolean flag. So it goes through, okay, it's in operand is in position 1. And then it goes through again. And then if true, all right, switch to false. Okay, put it in operand list or line 2 list. Like, would that be easier to keep track, or are we just using the logic?
No, I don't think we keep track. We create our lines on the go here as we go through the loop, right? So line 1 we're creating on the fly based on the information we've parsed. Yeah. Okay, so but we're keeping the lines separate at this point because we're going to add the new lines afterwards when we concatenate line 1, line 2, line 3, and send to the return function. Return from our function. So just for my clarity, do you like the operand and operator idea? Are you on board with that, or are you saying like? I'm thinking I'm actually thinking now that one way of going about that would be to get rid of it, because it's almost, because with operand you're adding 2 to every operator, and then how do you keep track of what question you're on, or what formula you're dealing with? So let's scrap that, because it's almost adding complexity where it's like, it's sort of clever, but it's not really clear. But if you were to change that to lines, and basically as part of that string formatting, we start to put together the first part of line 1, and then the first part of line 2, and the first part of line 3, right? Oh, next question. Now let's append the first part of line 1, the first part of line 2, the first part of line 3. Oh, now we're on the third piece. Move over. First part of line 1, first part of line 2, first part of line 3. And at the end of that, we have all of the stuff with the lines all in the 3, all with the 3 problems we're dealing with. And then we just new line them together, send them as a string as the return value. And I mean, I think you could actually do lines with the list, because what we're really creating is just a string for each line. So we don't even need line 1, 2, 3, 4. We could have line with that, and it's basically the indexer. Line 0 would give us the first line. Yeah. So the indexer would give us the line we're actually.
Okay. Okay, so walk me through your logic. Tell me what to type.
Okay, so we have x equals re split.
X,
So yeah, so
yeah.
So here's where it gets a bit, because we have the thing. I'd almost say the for j and x is actually useful for the error thing. Here's where I'm kind of vacillating between two different things, right? Because we have an existing code that's sort of useful. But another approach would be to reference x0, x1, and x2 directly, because I think we sort of know that we only have 3 things at this stage, right? Because everything is valid. Everything we've validated so far. The assumption at this stage of the program is that we have 3 things: a operand, an operator, and another operand.
Correct.
Right. And if it's, yeah. So in this case, we could change from the for j and x to basically be 2 calls to the FRE.findAll to check. So we would error check on x at 0 and x at 2.
I'm getting lost. I'm sorry.
I know. It's if I could just, yeah. Actually, here. I guess what we got is we got the chat window.
Yeah. See if you can. But you can't log into a Replit, or you can't sign up.
It's a pain in the butt, because I have to have a password that I have to look up and all this kind of. It's
got to be a way to invite guests.
Gabby. It's the sign up. I'll figure this out for next time for sure. But
okay, fair enough.
Because working that's good. Okay, so we have the re.findAll. So with there, we would have a error return for x at. So this isn't a legit regex, by the way, but Does that make sense? And then I missed, yeah, okay, so mistype, but basically as opposed to having our 4j in X loop, after the X equals RE dot split.
Right.
So after that, yep. Let's do you could basically copy the first block in the 4j and X loop and put it where on line 29. Right. And then instead of J, put in X at 0.
Like that?
Yeah. Question. Is it, if we could potentially put an if RE find all X at 0, and then could we do an OR statement? I'm not familiar with how that's done in Python. Because if we could, then it's an if RE dot find all, the pattern at X at 0, or RE dot find all. Yeah.
So we do have to change this logic, because this is trying to do error. So basically this is saying if the digit is minimum 5 in length, do an error. So how do we refractor this for what you're trying to attempt here?
No, we've done it, right? Because what RE split does is it splits whatever I is into our huge assumption is it's 3 things, right? X at 0 is the first operand, and we're checking to see if that's 5 digits or not.
Okay. So if it's 5 digits, then it's an error.
Yeah. So and that, right?
Okay.
So that's just error checking that in that case. That's
so this should be I is what you're saying, right? Instead of 0.
Nope. 0.
This is 0.
Yeah.
So this is hard coded.
Yep. And that's based on the assumption that at this stage, RE split is going to split I, our problem, into 3 separate elements.
Okay, let me just, I think I understand. So X equals I split up. Okay, that makes sense. So you're saying if the first one if it's greater than 5, return the error, else,
yeah.
Right? We're doing an else.
Yeah, we could do, maybe the else is a way. I was just wondering if you could do a if RE find all, and then do an or RE find all X at 2. Because if we could do that, it kind of simplifies the code and logic, but I'm just not familiar with Python enough to know what. Okay,
let's see. I see what you're saying. So you want an or logic?
Yeah.
Like an or operand? I
Yeah,
think
we
it's
want like an or.
types.
Basically, I want to run RE find all, the first one, or RE find all, but the with the second parameter as X at 2. In that checks, and that checks both our operands. And it's sort of cleaner, but we only have the one return that we need to do, right?
I am so confused. I wish you had control of the steering wheel here.
Oh, no. Okay, this is something I can type out. So I don't know if this will work, but it's like if RE dot find all, I'm gonna cheat here by leaving stuff out. Hopefully that's clear. Or RE dot find all, leave something out. X at 2, and of course it wrapped. But does that make sense?
If final, okay.
And of course I messed up. But that's basically But
there's no need for an or logic, right? I mean, you're now kind of saying, okay, the first position of I, the problem, if it's greater than 5, return an error. Else, what are we going to do with that operand? Are we going to add it to line? Are we going to append it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, wow, okay, we don't even need to use X here, my goodness. Okay, so,
But this is where I think you were going, right? You're saying like else. So if it's because we're putting our error logic into this now. So we're saying if it's not that, then we're going to do something like line append.
Nope, not at all. Nope. Not quite. Okay. Now, okay, a little bit of a brain flash here. We can actually move. Okay, so the if block that we're working on for the error checking, copy that and put it above the X equals RE split.
Oops.
Cool. Change X at 0 to I without the index, without the
So you're saying comment, get rid of this.
No. We need that. We will need the X split at some point. We don't need that. We don't need the else at all. That can be removed completely.
Oof.
We copied it from below, so we still have our for J and X intact, so that's fine. Okay. And then up where the RE find all, where we put in the I, we just need to remove the square bracket at the end.
Oh, good catch.
Got it. Okay. So let me explain what this is doing and why this might be a better way to error check. So I at this point has say so 3801 minus 2, right? That's one possible thing.
Here's the. I just got to stop you, Chris, because I is going to be. It's going to be a problem, right? So is it going to account like if the problem is 32 plus 69? Is this logic still going to work for this entry? Or is this going to be greater? Because I think this is where me and Hashi there were having some issues, is that's why we split it, is that the way we had it is that we want to split this problem up and then compare, okay, is the digit, because this might trigger an error. I think we were having issues because it kept saying this is greater than 5. Even though,
well, here's my thinking. Here's my thinking here. Now, and this is based on how I kind of want to structure the regular expression at this point to make it work. So maybe it's the regular expression is the problem in this case. But here's what the intent is in trying to do here. So you have a problem. Say it is 32 plus 69, right? So for the RE find all for this if statement, what we're doing is I want to find 5 digits. Right? No spaces in between or anything. 5 digits. If I find 5 digits, that should return true. That should return something. For the case 32 plus 69, there's no 5 digits all together. So you find nothing.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's the kind of regex I'm thinking would be a good thing to run at this case even before parsing, because then we would we could just throw it in there. Is there 5 consecutive digits in this string? If so, it's going to be it's failing our test.
Let's see if oh no, what's going on here? I have to reinstall everything here.
I see what we're doing. Okay, basically running a test based on this, see if it works.
All right, I'm back. been a while.
Hey, we're refracturing things because we found that we can't just print things out to the screen. We have to return values. So remember when we were trying to figure out what we should return?
Oh, okay.
It actually should be the error message itself. So they actually have a neat little testing set up here. So if we do PyTest, it tells us what we passed and what we failed.
Oh, that's
So I
good.
think
We were like halfway there.
we're halfway there. So I think we're good now, Chris. I think two problem arrangement.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
yeah.
seems to be good. And that's
This is-
and it's just, I think it simplifies things. You're not doing it in a loop or whatever, and it just gets it done out of the way. Let's focus on the next part.
Okay.
Cool. And it's nice because it's all together. You have all the errors. You're tracking it right to the beginning. Right at the beginning.
Exactly. Okay,
Okay.
so that's cleaned up.
Right. And then so what we're HashMap, or Hashi or whatever, what we're thinking of doing is as opposed to the for J and X loop, because at this stage of the game, I think the assumptions are rather strong that we always will have 3 items from the RE split.
So
Yeah, I think they're providing like it's either invalid or valid.
Yeah. So as opposed to going to for J and X, we know that X at 0 is our first operand, X at 1 is our operator, and X at 2 is our second operand. So as opposed to doing the for J and X and actually storing it in an additional variable, we actually have them available as X0, X1, and X2 that we can work with directly. And then using the string formatting, what we do is we start populating what should appear in the first line, store that, second line, store that, third line, store that. And after we're done all of our problems, then we return line 1, line 2, line 3, etc., concatenated by new lines. And then we should be done the.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, I seen some tests here, and then I don't know if we hit run. What happened?
So I think one of the next things that would be useful to have is what's the length of our longest operand? And don't we basically, and how do you get a length of a string? Is there again?
Len. I think it's len. I think.
Okay. So basically, we need to find the maximum of len of X at 0 and len at X at 1. X at 2.
Like that? Is that what we're...
Yeah, give it a shot.
And X at 2. You can print it out now, too.
Oh, that'll be... Yeah, okay, I see what's going on here.
That's always going to be 1.
Yeah, okay. So we put that. We can go like this. X1 and 2, right? Clear.
Let's see what let's see what we got. Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay. Right.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, then so with we have that 7 down there, but what we're trying to do with the ling of X at 0 and X at 2 is to figure out that helps us determine what 7 should be. No, that's not going to work.
I just want to see what it does.
Oh, yeah, that's sort of the embedded doesn't. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm wondering if we need to concatenate a string to get that to work for us. And I mean, maybe there's a cleverer way of doing it with like the string formatting, but
I
don't
think maybe this is what I was thinking while I was moving some code around. We could have like 2 values here. So there's always going to be 2 spaces there. Doesn't matter what. I think, right?
No.
Yeah. There'll
know.
always
No,
be 2.
There's always going to be one for the operator for sure.
Well, I mean, on like the where are we at here? You got the format right there, Paul. Where you at?
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, you're yeah, perfect. That's excellent. Yeah, 2 spaces, and then for the second print we have the operator space. Perfect. Good.
Okay, and then what we can do is go something like this. 1, 2. Then this will be spaces. What do I want to do? That length. Okay. So one of these is bigger than the other, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm liking your direction here.
So it's max. How do you is it max? Does that work in Python? Is that like Python max? That work?
Python string of
I think that'll work.
spaces. How to fill a Python string with spaces? What do we got? Oh, there's an oh wow, okay. This is great. There's an ljust function apparently. Or an rjust. That's pretty useful actually. Here, I'll put a link in here. This could be the magic. Stack Overflow.
Left justify.
So yeah, we probably want to use rjust in this case. Okay, so we're
rjust. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. I'm picking up.
Yeah. So as opposed to ljust, you do rjust, and then we pass in the length of the longest thingamabob.
Oh.
And then for fill characters, I think it defaults to space, so we're all good there. And then we could use that as the yeah. There we go. Almost. We still need the format if we're using the curly braces though. And in this case, rjust. So rjust isn't really compatible with the curly brace one curly brace.
It's not.
No. So what one way of doing it would be to maintain that format that we did, right? Where we have the 2 spaces and then the value. Then we do format, but then what we do is we pass x0 in with the .rjust with the longer parameter afterwards.
So 0.
So in this case, we don't need the 0. Well, actually, leave the 0, get rid of the 1.
Okay.
Okay. And then basically we want to pass in x at 0 dot rjust with the longer as the parameter. Nope, nope, nope. It's right after the indexer for x, because it's the value of x that we're applying. Nope,
This,
nope,
no?
nope, 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 nope. Yeah, because we're passing the justified value back to the format function, which allows us to tag on the two spaces that we need as well. And then similarly with the, okay, so for the second print statement, we can remove the 3, we can remove the curly brace 2 in the format, still want the 1, and then for x2 are just longer.
Okay, that seems to work.
Did it do anything?
Yeah, that looks like it's working.
Oh,
maybe
there it
just
is. Look at that.
refresh.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
Nice.
So then
Now, so
then for the first print, we would add that to line 0. Second print, we'd add that to line 2. And then the third one, we would use rjust longer plus 2. And then for the fill character, we do the dash.
you have to do a new line, do you not?
We'd want to have line 1. Yeah, there we go. Because we're going to stitch those up after we're done everything. Yeah.
Just print line. No. Print just a line without any brackets. Yeah, see what happens.
Do we need to initialize? I guess we would need to initialize, wouldn't we? Oh, actually, the plus equals where it is because there's nothing there yet. That's the
List index out of range.
no. It's the plus equal operator because right line. So yeah, but yeah, there we go.
I think we're going to get burned on that assumption of 2 spaces, because if you run some of the tests, Okay.
Okay, so it looks like this is where now. Okay, so before we go too far, what's the requirement on space between problems?
4 spaces.
4 spaces. Now, if there's no following question, are the 4 spaces there?
There should be 4 spaces between each problem.
Right, but no trailing 4 spaces, so we kind of have to manage that. But that's okay. We just either need to know if we're on the last element, I guess.
And there should be dashes at the bottom of each problem. The dashes should run along the entire length of each problem individually. So that's the longer plus 2, I'm saying.
So just to be aware that for the last line, I mean, we will need to have logic on that append that was just added with the 4 spaces to make sure we don't inadvertently append to the end of the line, unless there's a way of trimming the extra space at the end of the lines.
could be a function. Python list pop. Pop work. Print. Pop. Okay. Hold on. We will try this one. Okay, so then we go over here and we
It's looking promising.
didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Well, here's the other thing: is basically line at 0 is a string. Appending, I'm wondering if we're making a list, and is that really what we want to do? When I guess, yeah, I don't know. This is where we're getting to string. Like the plus equal works. It's just we almost need to have an initialization, an initial empty string on line at 0, just to make sure we have something to append to, or something to plus equal to, if we're doing the string way of it.
Is there a way to collapse a list? Like
I think it's
convert a list to
join.
a string? You have all the elements there. Should it just not be one big string that you're going to return?
Actually, I like, hey, good. I like the join, if that works, because that's a great way of joining with 4 spaces, isn't it? Love it.
List to string. Join. This is for 4x in j. Something is going wrong here. Like that's the for I. Do we need this j loop anymore? Or?
No.
So let's comment that out. String
Or wait, hold on. Where do we? Okay, so we did. Where do we do the validation for the? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Good, we do it.
Run the PyTest. Hashy. Yeah. No, sorry. You have to do it in the console.
Did you just PyTest or I gotta?
Yep. PyTest. So yeah, I think that's right.
Here's one solution
passing.
where we can go back to the plus equals, which gives us our string creation. What we could do, right where we have line equals blah blah, if we do line at 0 equals empty string, line at 1 equals empty string, line at 2 equals empty string, then we can do our plus equals later on in the code, and the code will work.
Fine.
And then we're getting away, we're not even dealing with appends or anything, right? We just have a nice simple, yeah, there we go, love it. Right, so how many lines do we have? Perfect, so then we should be able to do the plus equals now, right?
Oh boy. So line print 0. Looks right.
Cool. Now we probably have hidden, the one gotcha is we probably have hidden spaces after the 1, 2, 3 plus 49, and that could cause us a failure, but we're getting there.
We do something like, is there like a R trim or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Sounds like a Google search to me. R strip apparently. Yeah, R strip. R strip, no param. No. Oh, okay, I see.
Look at that. You gotta do the dashes now, or?
Yeah, I think we might even have the code to do that. So for line 2, we could. It looks like we could probably get away with doing
just longer plus 2, right? It's like, I don't know how you repeat the repeat dash.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So we'll do the R just. Yeah. Okay. So do 0. Oh yeah. No, that'll work. Perfect. Yeah. Let's do it. Even 1 will work. Yeah. Okay.
Do repeat.
Well, I think we could even still use RJust. RJust has a second mode where the second parameter allows you to specify the character you're justifying with.
Okay.
Right. So if you're justifying a 2-character thing with longer. No. Put 2 dashes in there. I think this will work.
Need that. I need that.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, do the dash and then 2 dashes in the string that we're dealing with. Let's try that out.
Almost.
Oh, well, that's
what's happened.
Okay.
It's because we need the 4 spaces between the problems too, right? So 2 spaces, we have to repeat it. It'll be 2 spaces plus longer, plus 4 spaces between the dashes.
Yeah, what we're doing is with the RJust longer isn't. Yeah, we need longer plus 2, don't we? But I would have thought that the 2 would have done it. I don't know. Nah, is it?
Whoa, boom, there you go.
2.
Nice.
Whatever works, I guess. I don't know.
Now we still have to collapse these lines into a single return value, right?
That's easy. That's out of the 4 I in blah. then it's basically so.
We
Yeah.
just return line.
Right. So maybe we get
Like-
clever and then combine the array, combine the lines in the array with a new line character. Not sure. This is yeah. I don't know the Python for it. Now here's okay. So that's for the first part. Now we have the second mode. So the interesting thing with the second mode is longer
flag.
probably becomes the length. Well, so longer becomes the longest value between x at 0, x at 2, and whatever calculation we do between the resulting calculation between x at 0 and x at 2.
Okay, so okay, that looks straightforward. So you're asking if plus, then do it, or if negative.
Yeah, does that work in Python, or what's this?
Good question. I don't know if that'll work, but
I think it does.
ternary
Python.
operator in Python.
Yeah, how do you spell that? Ternary operator. Yeah, looks like.
How do I do string equivalence?
Is it? It still thinks it's a string, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Shit. Can we do arithmetic on strings?
I think is.
No, that's if it's the plus, it's going to concatenate, right? I'm not sure what. Yeah, so we need a conversion routine to convert it to an int. Yeah.
Does this not work? Or?
Well, I don't know. If it's still a string.
No,
right?
that's going to concatenate. That's going to concatenate because we still have x at 0 as a string as opposed to a cat.
Something like this, or
yeah, good question. I don't know. Again, my Python is super weak. Hey, it highlighted, syntax highlighted. So yeah, there we go. Do the x at 2, and we'll see what happens.
Hold on, I just want to see.
Oh, you have to put. Okay, so it's yeah, okay, so it's not like JavaScript here. If it's actually like if A is greater than B, else B. Wow, that's I don't know how. Okay, that's sort of messed. But I guess it makes sense.
You think it? Maybe they use lambda. Lambda is more efficient than the two methods because lambda, we ensure that I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So that print lambda b lambda a should permit true or false, I guess. Interesting.
Let's see if there's an.
I think I just go like this. That doesn't do it. What is going on? Print 2. Oh, it's backwards.
It still thinks it's a string.
If what's a string?
Actually, let's do a test print. Let's test out what the thing thinks with the int. Oh, okay. It's actually giving us an error, cast error.
So we have to convert. We have to convert x0 and x2.
I'm curious. Does int x at 2 actually return an integer?
Oh, it doesn't like that. Line 3 only. Oh. Am I getting the wrong error here, boys?
Oh, yeah, line 3, you can't actually, yeah, I see what it's doing. You're trying to, an int doesn't go into line 3, which is the string. That's definitely going to error out there.
Do I have to do something like this? It's so much easier in other languages. No. String. Success.
Converting Python string to int.
Oh, okay, so it's basically that. Yeah, okay, that's pretty.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah, you're
basically
right.
doing
Int.
it. It's just that the code is, yeah. So there, yeah, shouldn't that work? Cool.
You're on the right track. Yeah, he's getting. Yeah, he's.
You can
getting,
also do format too, as a right. So, or could you do format? Yeah, you could do format.
I'm just trying to get the right value here first place.
Yeah, yeah.
You did have the. I did see it there. You had
That does
something
work.
there. Yeah. Okay. So you just have to get your logic, like you had before. The.
So
Yeah.
just we should probably figure out what the addition is. Oh, well, this is where it gets into, we have to track modes and stuff, but basically just in case with the addition, if that happened to be, if for whatever reason we add like 99 and 99 together, the answer is going to be, actually, we got to go back to the spec. What happens in that case? What would happen? What should happen in the case of 99 plus 99?
I don't follow. What are you saying?
In the specifications. So in that
Why
case,
99?
should there
Why
always
90?
Yeah, on that final line. Oh, okay. No, that's a spec, right? Okay, so we got our answer then. This doesn't matter. Okay, so we don't have to worry about spacing of the.
Oh no, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
They just limit the operands. They don't the actual answer itself.
Right. And then so for that final value, we just need to probably do a longer +2 on the RJust. Got it. Okay.
Just gotta R-adjust it, I think.
Longer +2. Yeah, nice.
Nice. Boom. Okay. So now we do have to put a logic in here because you're only going to do line 3 if the flag is set to true. And that was one of the specifications up here, right? Answers equals false by default unless you pass it in. So we have to check somewhere. I mean, you could put the logic like do the solutions anyways, or you could just kind of save processing and say,
like that?
Perfect. Yeah, that's excellent.
No, that's just for line 3 though.
Just line 3. Yeah, we want to keep line 2, the dashes regardless.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
But okay, so how do we collapse this? How do we collapse all the lines? Shall I start Googling how to convert a list?
Right. So if in a list, is there an easy way of collapsing it, collapsing all of them and concatenating them together with that new line character? Wow, there we go. There. Oh, nice. String join line. Wonderful.
Come on. Holy jumping.
Go back. I think we can do it. So, okay. So you can almost get rid of arrange problems, and then go return.
Here it is right here.
Yeah.
So say you have you say join less and join. Output is.
Yeah,
Did
nice.
you see that? You see that, Hash?
Perfect.
I have no idea. What's he
No,
doing
he's
now?
doing the good thing, which is making sure we don't after we have everything all figured up, we are stripped so that we don't have those extra 4 at the end.
What was it? What's the R strip doing? It's stripping the trailing, or
Yeah, trailing. So in the logic above, after we do our initial format, we put 4 strings to pad, but then for the last one, we don't want the 4 strings at the end. We do the 4 characters. I mean, yeah.
oh, I see. Okay.
And then as opposed to arrange problems equals problems, return arrange problems.
You know what? I still don't understand. I thought I understand here. So we're stripping what? What's trailing?
Spaces.
You're talking about the 4 spaces between the problems.
Yeah, at the end. And then since we don't have another thing at the end, we're just making sure that we get rid of those because we don't need them. We don't have anything following. But because of the logic we have in place, the last item in our list is going to append the 4 spaces, which is fine. We're just making sure that we don't have 4 spaces at the end.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
That's weird. Like, wasn't the code in the thing different with this new line and then join with? It's just,
Something like that. So instead of print join string, it's going to be returned. That's where we're returning.
yeah, and it looks like the line dot join is sort of reversed. Did I misunderstood what I saw? Thing, because that's weird. Because you take the new line and then you join.
Yeah.
The list.
Do you see that?
Yeah, hold
You
on,
have it
sorry.
best.
I'm doing the JavaScript format here, boys. Hold on.
Yeah.
Do I go like this?
Yeah, I think so. And then line. And then return that, I guess. And we're okay, I see what you mean.
I don't see the new line character, but it is printing out.
No, but the print, just right now with the join, it's like we need to return or assign the line above print line to a variable for it to have any effect. Otherwise, you're not actually affecting the values in line at all. There we go.
Looks good. All right. See if you can do. Oh. If answers.
Yeah, that's this guy right here, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh yeah, like this.
He's getting rid of the line 3 if it's not the yeah.
Am I putting semicolons in place?
Damn it, really
no.
semicolons.
False. Might work.
I don't know yet.
Try to return answers and see, and then we could do PyTest to see if
actually
it passes.
We might even be ready to do
it does work
right now. Let's.
But it's not. No, we have to. We still have to return answer.
Yeah, return answer, and I think we're ready to see what's going on here.
Or you could do.
Oh, you guys are. I just. So what we do? Oh, what the hell? Updating.
I think you're missing an S there.
Nope, he isn't.
Oh, if I just go,
Okay.
I go,
Name RE is not defined.
Did we lose our import? We lost our
Yes,
import.
that's
Yeah.
oh, you know what? There was some point my mouse moved. Let me just hold on here.
yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. So that, yeah, that looks like it's working.
Why is it saying string format? Where's that coming from?
Up here. So just remove these. Return. I think that'll work. Run. Okay, and then when we type PyTest.
Yeah. Boom! Wow.
All right.
Very, very impressive. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess you can get rid of that commented code. And that's done. Wow. Very impressive. I was skeptical. I didn't think we'd see that beautiful green line. Very impressive.
Hey,
And-
I think we learned a little bit of Python too for added
Holy
bonus.
geez. Very impressive hashed some of that
I don't like this. That's terrible.
Yeah, but hey, whatever. It's
you're more than welcome to clean it up.
No.
Well, that was fun.
answer. Okay. Well, now fails. Well, there. Okay. You just renamed the perfect. Good.
I see. Wow. All right. Well, that was cool. That was pretty cool we got that all sorted. Did we use? Yeah, we did use line, right?
Well,
Okay.
it's the key to our entire thing, I think. Right? Yeah, for creating the lines.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we could do something like this too. Line.
Where are you typing?
Yep.
Do that, right?
Yep. That's that would work.
That still works. Still does the PyTest. Right on. A little bit cleaner.
Nice.
Okay.
Can you change that triple R?
Yeah. What do you want?
I don't know. Arranged problems.
You guys do this thing, right? That's what's going on there.
I think that's what originally was said. Yeah. Didn't have the camel case. I had the snake case. That's what that's called. Snake case.
Hey.
Oh, that's snake. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Now what do we do?
Nice. We could try to reduce it to 9 milliseconds, or, I mean, it's like we've achieved the objectives. What you do is after it's completed, you take the link, and I thought it would run a further test on the freeCodeCamp, but it basically, they're working on the honor system, right? So this is proof that it passed. We ran the test. So then you guys can copy the code, since it is your code.
Oh, I see. You got to go. I think you copy the
solution. Yeah.
URL.
Yeah, the URL. So, but Me and Chris were testing something while you were away. Where the hell is it? Sorry, I gotta zoom out here. Where's the arithmetic? There it is right there, the arithmetic formatter. I tested it earlier with some link, right?
Yeah, and it did a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. So it's kind of like got an honor system.
Oh, we did it. Yeah.
So, so the next meeting, we can do time calculator. So we're still developing interactive instructional part of the Python. Oh, this is just the kind of their waiver, so you can still check in their course here. So there's a new boilerplate that they provide, time calculator. So while that's loading, write a function named add time. This takes 2 required parameters and 1 optional parameter: a start time and 24-hour clock, format ending in AM or PM. Duration indicates the number of hours and minutes, optional starting day of the week. So they give a few examples down here. So add time 3 p.m. and then 3 hours and 10 minutes. It'll tell you what time of day that'll be. If you say 11:30 a.m. plus 2 hours and 32 minutes on a Monday, it'll return 2 p.m. on a Monday. There was one interesting here. Yeah, so if you add 3:30 p.m. and then you say 205 hours and 12 minutes, it'll actually, this is the interesting feature here, that'll say 9 days later.
Oh, yeah.
And this one here, they try to trip it up. They said they have a mixed case here. So they want you to start on a Tuesday, but it figures out it's going to be on Thursday, 2 days later. So I guess if you specify the day, the day will be part of the output. So it's got some interesting like twists and functionality that you're supposed to code in. So I mean, we could you guys could take a crack at this on your spare time, or we could do it together next meeting.
Oh, what's that? Do not import any Python libraries. I assume that includes regex too, right?
Oh, I wonder if I cheated on the last one. Where does it say that? Do not import any. Huh. I wonder if I cheated. That would be terrible.
There's nothing on there. You can import.
Oh, sorry. There's no import on this. Okay, so I think it was fine. We did.
This one's good. The next one, yeah, it's like I guess they don't want you doing any date add libraries or whatever, which just makes it trivial, probably.
It says we imported tests. That's what it said. Is that what you read? HashMap?
What are we looking at here? Sorry, we imported the tests to. Somebody was calling me. That's all. My phone was ringing.
Oh. So this is the boilerplate that they set up, and it's kind of the same deal. So nothing works, and then if you run, I assume it's the same setup. Oh, they don't have the same setup here. Testing. We imported the test from test module to main for your convenience. The test will run automatically whenever you hit the run button. So test module. So I guess it's running tests automatically. These are the unit tests. But I wish it kind of gave you the tests that you failed. I like the last one that they showed you the number of tests. That's too bad. Maybe they give you something here.
No, it errored out because we got new time is not defined, right? So it can't even run. So if it can't run, you don't get the thing. So whatever's in time calculator, new time, nothing. Okay, so set new time to empty string or whatever.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
It's just-
Fuck indentation. Unexpected indent. Okay, so that's more like it. So 8 failures, 4 errors. So that's, I ran 12 tests. So that's okay. So yeah, that'll be our next meeting, if you guys are okay with that. Or if you guys crack the code before then we can think of a new problem. But I'm spent. My brain is fried. I'm very impressed that both of you were able to get that over the finish line. I was ready to tap out about a half hour ago. But yeah.
Oh, thank you
well
for
done.
sticking with us. That's great.
Yeah. I hope you guys have a good rest of the month. I'm just looking at the calendar here. So the last Friday of this month, so basically we'd be just meeting in the next 3 weeks on the 28th, or we could just delay until the end of February, which is the 25th, I believe is correct. So any preference, or we want to give some time till the next meeting, or just let's
The
get
28th?
back?
It would be what day?
Yeah, so we can either, the only reason why we had a meeting at the beginning of this month is because we didn't want New Year's Eve. So, I mean, it's just the 3 of us, so we'll put it to a vote. Do you guys want to meet again this month, or do you want to just wait till the end of next month?
I'll get a meeting again this month. I got to do this more often.
Okay.
Slacking on my attendance.
So that's
Yeah.
one vote?
I'll back. I'm easy, so I'm like a vote either way, which kind of makes it crappy because if you don't want, then.
All right, Paul.
So anyway, you're the guy who makes the call there, Paul. So.
All right, so we'll meet again on the 28th. We'll set that in the calendar. Thanks, gents. This was fun.
Yeah. All right. I'll see ya.
Good time. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Be
Bye.
well.